Good morning, Zio here, and we're talking Blizzard again, so grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? But yeah, we're talking about Blizzard again, because why not? So there's so much to go into when it comes to Blizzard. I need to go and take a look and see what all I have missed this past year and stuff. But yeah, we've been talking about Blizzard a lot lately because they're, how do I put this nicely? They're not a good company these days. But yeah, so, we've talked about things from Blitzchung to getting investigated by the state and all that other stuff in between. Let's see, Warcraft refunded. There we go. Their piss poor performance when it comes to, WoW expansions and other things, and where they cut corners and stuff, where they keep talking about how they're listening to the fans and we're doing things for you, and then they just, it's like they never even heard anybody. It's like, yeah. Anyway, Blizzard keeps going down that hill of trash company, but luckily they are getting acquired by Microsoft, providing, the US government doesn't step in. And when that happens, I have no idea why my alarm looks so different recently out of nowhere. But anyway, when that happens, we can see maybe if they'll come in and clean this up, because apparently Microsoft also had a similar system of what we're about to talk about, and they got rid of theirs. I don't know why anybody would have this system. Anyway, essentially, yeah. So a manager on the classic WoW team has been terminated, essentially, right? 2 minutes in, we're just now getting to it. They've been terminated because they don't want to, because they're treating their employees correctly, I guess. I had another word for it and I lost it, which is not surprising considering how early it is and I haven't had my coffee yet. But yeah, well, I guess I'm having my coffee right now. But anyway, so they've got this stat rank system in place where about 5% is the quota, where they have to give somebody underperforming marks during a performance review, essentially, to hit this magic quota, because the higher ups at Blizzard said this is how we're going to do things, and it's a load of bollocks, right? It's ridiculous. It's asinine, to put it mildly, I guess. But anyway, so why exactly does that matter? This manager, of course, refuses to do that. He doesn't want to give somebody below their marks just because somebody up at the top has decided, well, that's what we're going to do regardless. And that's why he was terminated. So it first started off as a, yeah, look, I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to continue doing my job until we can revoke this program because it's stupid, right? It's dumb. And HR was like, alrighty then, adios, right? So, it is Brian Birmingham, code lead developer of World of Warcraft Classic. There we go. I couldn't remember exactly his title. Code lead developer. But yeah. So, that is what Blizzard decided to do. Instead of getting rid of a really crappy program, they did this. And Kitty Cat, I sure hope you didn't mess up that sound. Rubbing up against the mic like that. But yeah, so he mentioned that apparently other managers and stuff at this and him have been like circumventing or skipping it for the last few years, but apparently they just recently started enforcing it because Blizzard is filled with idiots at the top. And of course, their reasoning for it, they said it fosters competitiveness or something like that. Like, yeah, which is downright dumb. So, way back in the day, I worked for a place called Kmart, right? I know you probably don't know what it is, never heard of it. You know, it doesn't exist anymore for the most part. And they did the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. This is like my first time encountering something like this in the wild, because I'd go for a performance review, and for Kmart, a performance review essentially will determine whether or not you're getting a raise and how much that raise is going to be. For Blizzard, I'm assuming, of course, it's also raises and bonuses are kind of tied with that performance review, which is why you want to get a higher mark. And which is why this thing that the higher-ups are saying, well, it fosters competitiveness, and pushes employees to work harder or whatnot by giving them lower marks than what they actually made, is a load of BS, because the fact that their raise and bonuses and things like that are tied to it generally is enough to make somebody go, yep, we're going to strive for the sky with this one. You know, you don't need to add anything to it, when in reality it's to save money, right? That's where I'm trying to get to. Anyway, when I was working at Kmart, I had the same thing happen to me, right? I had a manager tell me, oh, you're doing amazing, you're doing a great job, you're going above and beyond. However, they can't just put 10s across the board, or 5s, or whatever numbering scheme it was they were using, and just excellence across the board. I have to sit here and and we have to have a talk about something. But, you know, so what do you want to, what do you think you need improvement and all this other stuff, so we can say we did that? And it's like the dumbest shit I have ever heard in my life, right? Because back then I asked the same question. Why the fuck are we doing this? You know, the only reason we're doing this is so I know how much of a raise I'm getting, essentially. Why are we doing this? And then, of course, because it's Kmart, there wasn't even a raise involved, because they were on a wage freeze for pretty much the entire time I worked there, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, which was quite a bit. But anyway, they were on a similar thing, right? And this stat, this whatever it is they want to call it, ranking on a bell curve, whatever, and purposely pulling somebody down to a lower mark than they actually do, it doesn't really foster any kind of competitiveness or for them to rise higher or anything like that, right? Not only does it affect things like their current raise, their bonuses, and possibly promotions, because when things go to that, they're going to look at the paper, not the actual person, because they've never seen the person before in their life, more than likely, when it comes to actually issuing things like that. Yes, Keycat. But all you do is encourage somebody to go find employment elsewhere. That's like the only thing that you encourage them to do at that point, because if you've sat here and you put your heart and soul into a project, into a company, and you've given them all this time, all this energy, and you have done like an above board job, and it's very clear, everybody else sees it, that sort of thing, right? Or heck, just a good job. It doesn't even have to be above board, just a good job. And then you go in, you sit down for your performance review, and the manager's like, yeah, so I know you did a fantastic job. You pulled us out of this, and you did that, and you've created this. However, yeah, it's going to have to be unsatisfactory. You've done unsatisfactory to this year. And it's like, what? You gotta be kidding me. It doesn't foster any kind of competitiveness. It doesn't foster anyone going above and beyond or anything else like that. It just makes the employee think, yeah, shit company, they don't value you. It kicks off things like that work your wage bullshit from people who get a salary who don't actually know the difference between an hourly job and a salary job, you know. And yeah, that's exactly what that kind of culture fosters, right? People who don't want to do their job, who want to work you know, the bare minimum at their job because they know that there's no room for advancement. They're not going to go anywhere because all they're going to be is brought down by the system because what, the CEO and them don't want to pay them a little extra money. Anyway, I think that's about going on long enough, so let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I am going to get ready for work. See ya!